meeting is being recorded.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Show. Adam, got to see you out here in Atlanta over the weekend. Did you have a good trip overall?
Yeah. I was in town and it was Hollow Weekend, as we call it, the weekend after Halloween. And yeah, saw some family, caught up. It was my brother's birthday. Went to a party. You showed up, so
Yeah.
we had a good time. I liked your costume. You were like the dark monk.
Right.
Um,
It's funny. So I was supposed to go to two Halloween parties. One was supposed to be the Saturday before Halloween, and one was actually Halloween night. I didn't go to either one. And I literally Friday had packed my outfit up. And then when you text me Saturday, remember I said I get to dress up? So I had to go in the closet and pull out the outfit.
oh yeah, you showed up. It was good. So yeah, the weekend was good. The weather was nice. Sunday was
Yeah.
actually kind of cloudy and dark,
Mhm.
but we made the best of it.
Yeah, that's good. It was good seeing you.
Yeah.
I'll let y'all take over with movie reviews.
Yeah, so I actually didn't get a chance to go catch any movies because, again, as I mentioned, I was in Atlanta for a hot minute, so a lot of traveling. But I did get to catch up on a new Amazon Prime show called Like a Dragon, Yakuza, and it follows the lives of these four orphans as the time jumps a little bit, but how as they get involved within a yakuza, which is a Japanese mafia gang. Yakuza is the Japanese mafia, so multiple gangs throughout Japan, and they get involved with one gang, and it kind of flashes back on how they got involved and now where they are at, and it follows their storyline. So I actually started watching this series and I'm a few episodes in, and I was like, okay, this kind of has a video game feel to it. And maybe it's just because it's a Japanese produced show that it has that feel. But then later I learned that there is the actual, and I've heard of the game, the Yakuza PlayStation game that's been out since 2005. It has several sequels, a lot of games in this series. So it's loosely based on this. So that's why it has that feel, but it's a fun show. I liked it. I turned it on with the subtitles and then the Japanese actors because Amazon defaults to English and it's too off. The dubbing is too off for me. So I watched it. It's fun. Again, you're not getting too deep into anything new or fancy per se. It does again have those video game elements where some things are maybe a little too over dramatic or you get some little twists and turns. But so far, I'm enjoying it. Um, Again, it's Japanese, so watch it with the subtitles. You'll enjoy it. If you like these kind of shows, you get a kind of feel of Japan in the 90s and then the mid 2000s. This show has everything you're looking for. So, highly recommend it. Again, all on Amazon Prime right now.
Nice. So I saw two films. The one is streaming on Hulu, and it's been on for a while, and I just never caught it. So I had a little time and checked out The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. This story follows three friends through the trials of life and tribulations. I think it was a great film on friendship and endurance. It stars Sanaa Lathan, Russell Hornsby, Uzo Aduba, and Angelou Ellis, and Mackay Pfeiffer. Um, it kind of got me a couple times with the tears thing. Kind of tugged at your heart a little bit. It's really very well done. I'm glad that it was a film that they didn't try to do in the theater because it probably wouldn't have made as much money because it wouldn't have been a draw compared to what draws people to the theater these days. But it was a great film, great for streaming. Definitely check it out and stream it on Hulu. And so the next film that I saw was Alien Romulus. So I will say this. Firstly, the guy David Johnson, he plays the secondary character in the film. I think he deserves an award for his portrayal um, of I forget his name in the film, but he did a wonderful rendition of. I don't want to do any spoilers, but he did a great job. Definitely, just for his acting alone in this one particular part, I think it's worth looking at. Um, the film gives you the essence of the original film, and it's basically told through the eyes of, I guess these are smugglers, and they're living on a planet that's basically slave rule, and they're trying to get off the planet, but it's all disguised like the company, and you work for the company and you're indebted to the company for contract so many years, and you have to do this work, and the work could probably kill you, but it's for the company, and you think you're going to get out. Every time you try to get out, the company brings you back in. That kind. Okay. So they're trying to escape the planet, and the only way to get off the planet is through a junk ship that they can get restarted and get out so they can get to another planet that's free. However, the junk ship is, you know what kind of ship it is. It's a
Hmm.
junk alien ship. All chaos breaks out. But I will say this, in sticking to the storyline of how aliens and why it was created, they're doing a very good job with the consistency of where the story is going. All the movies tie into each other perfectly if you pay attention. And there's an evolution in this film that I wasn't expecting. So, in order for you to see, got to go check out Alien Romulus. It's the same, but it's a little different.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I watched Love is Blind season 7 reunion. I was telling Adam about it over the weekend. You remember there were two couples that got married, Taylor and Garrett and Ashley and Tyler, and both are still married. This is a year after they've all been married. And was it Ashley and Tyler? So I remember I talked about how he had the kids that he was a sperm donor to. Um, and she had asked him on the show, Ashley asked him, do they know what he looks like? And he said, I don't know. And then, of course, social media pulled all these pictures of them spending holidays together and everything. Well, they addressed it on the reunion, and they had a good story for it. Basically, they're saying that Ashley knew the whole story about it. They'd have conversations off camera, but she was trying to give them a way to discuss it on camera. And so, in my mind, they came up with a story that made sense. But it works for them. You know what I mean? They seem like a great couple. So they're still together. And then Tyler and Garrett, they're still together. He's gone on and walked in. He's like a nerd, like a very smart, and he's very, but he's walked in New York Fashion Week and everything. They say he has a glow up. But both of them doing well. They brought back some of the older cast members, couples, and some people that didn't work out. They were able to address all that. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Of course, they're having season 8 next year.
So was this your favorite season?
They're all the same to me.
No highlights? I mean, you like Tyler and Ashley at least, right? That was
I
your
did
favorite
like them a
couple?
lot, and I like the other couple too.
Yeah.
But yeah, but see, I really liked Ashley and Tyler from the jump. They're one of the
Mm.
first couples to get together, and they stayed together. And so when the stuff came out on social media, I was like, man. But they're still together, and they seem to be doing great. So, um, then I took off last Friday, and I decided to make it a productive day, and so I ended up doing some deep cleaning around the house. So I was doing that. I watched Martha on Netflix, the Martha Stewart documentary.
Yeah.
It was really good. And so, it talks about her early beginnings as a model to becoming the first self-made billionaire. And then it talks about, of course, her going to prison and everything that happened around that. Martha was a trip. So, so she tells a story. I'll just tell you one story. She had gotten married. She met a guy in college, and they got married, and they took an extended honeymoon to Europe, and that's where she fell in love with gardening and with decorations and things like that. The places she would travel. Well, she was talking about it was the night before Easter, and so she was going to a cathedral. Her husband didn't want to go, so she went, and she said how amazing it was, the scenery, because she grew up, they didn't have a lot of money. Matter of fact, when she was modeling, she gave money to her family. Anyway, so she's at the cathedral, and she sees this very attractive man. I think he's from Scotland, and just caught up in the whole moment, the beauty. They ended up kissing. And so the director asked her, "Oh, isn't that cheating?" "Oh no, it didn't mean anything." She said it didn't mean anything. She said it was nothing. It was just more of an emotion. Not that I was trying to leave my husband. And then she goes on to talk about later on in the marriage how her husband ended up having so many affairs on her. And the director says, "Well, didn't you have an affair on him?" And she said, "It wasn't an affair." She was talking about another guy. She said it was a short-term thing. It was more like the kissing in the cathedral. It meant nothing. But she really, I thought it was a well done documentary. But I read afterwards that she didn't like the way it came out in the end because she said she's like an old lonely woman. But I didn't get that from it. Really talked about how she burst back on the scene after jail and her relationship with Snoop Doggy Dogg and how she became this pop culture sensation,
Yeah.
in modern day. But I thought it was good. Last thing I saw was Beauty and Black, Tyler Perry series on Netflix. I heard that it wasn't good, and then someone was telling me how good it was, and so I watched it throughout the weekend. It's good, but it is all over the place. And it says it's a stripper's fate takes a turn when she crosses paths with a wealthy, dysfunctional, which they are, family behind the cosmetic dynasty and a devious trafficking scheme. But there's 8 episodes. The last episode leaves a huge cliffhanger. But I heard it's not coming back till next year. But if you're into Tyler Perry's work, you'll definitely love this. It's very dramatic. It's very action packed. But Beauty and Black on Netflix. So, anything coming out of the pipeline for you guys?
End of the month, Gladiator 2 looks fun. It looks promising. I don't know if it'll be as good as the first one, but it's fun to see the battles, and I think they have a really good cast: Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal. So that's the main one on my list.
Mm-hmm. Chike?
To be honest, I can't think past tomorrow night.
I know.
Wait, what's going on tomorrow?
The election.
Oh yeah.
We talked about that too on Saturday.
I know. I'm sure you guys had quite a hot topic session.
We did.
Yeah.
I saw Tom Hanks has a new movie, and it has brought back the co-star from Forrest Gump, and it's kind of the same thing where they go back in time. It's the same character, but they play 3 different parts in life. I don't know much about it, but I saw that he had it, and it's supposed to be out now because he was promoted. They both were promoting it, but I don't know if you all have paid attention to that.
I have. I was on my maybe list if I had chance to see it over the weekend. It's called Here.
Yeah.
And it's actually the same director, Robert Zemeckis, who did Forrest Gump also, and Back to the Future, things like that. It's an interesting premise. They set up the camera in one room, and the whole movie is just over a generational movie that takes place in that one room. So you see like them move into the house, the kids, the growing up, holidays, everything's happening in this one room without the camera moving at all. So it's a really cool concept. To me, again, if I had a chance, I would go see it, but I'll probably save it for maybe next week or another time just to kind of get involved. But yeah, it's been getting good reviews. And again, interesting premise. The camera doesn't move at all.
I did real quick Halloween night. I did put on a scary movie to watch, and I ended up turning it off before the movie's over because it started getting weird.
What movie was it, sir?
Some movie on BET Plus.
Oh, of course.
But it was shot here in Georgia. So the gentleman, he lives in LA, and his uncle passes away, who he hadn't seen since he was a little kid, and they left all of the he left his home. It's actually Blue Ridge area, which Brittany talked about, which went Bob and Rebels. And they left the property to him, but he had to come in town to do the paperwork and everything. And apparently, his uncle had cast a spell because he was being threatened by his black family. They're the only black family in the neighborhood at that time in the 60s, and they were being terrorized by these white gentlemen who wanted the property. And so he and his wife cast a spell that if anything happened to him, he would come back and get revenge. And so his nephew comes, and then he somehow can transmit himself to his nephew's body, and he starts going off to everybody. I turned it off. But Adam, we were talking about it on Saturday. He said that I always tell too much of the story when I'm giving my review. I said, because no one's going to watch this. But anyway, guys, thank you as always for letting us know what to spend our time and money on and what not to. And we'll see you next week. Right back after this.